Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and this is Gwen Poole Strikes Back. Before I get into this, you may hear the fans going on the rack of switches over there. I am at work. I'm in the lab. I am in the middle of pulling a double, so it's been kind of busy. I wanted to talk about the story that I had read about earlier this morning, which was Zoe Quinn is going to be writing a Hellcat series for Marvel. Dear God, why? Why? Just why? Who is really clamoring for Zoe Quinn to write a comic and a Hellcat comic? Who? You know, if the comic book industry was a football team, DC would be the kicker, and Marvel would be the water boy. Because the water boy is getting the women that are too nasty that the kicker is even turning away. Okay, that's a horrible analogy. Like I said, I'm in the middle of doing a double. I'm tired, but that was bad. So yeah, Gwen Poole Strikes Back. As you know, I am a big fan of Gwen Poole. At least her series that was written by Hastings, however you say it. I love that series. I really recommend it to everyone. You know, it's not what you think it is. Give it a shot. This is written by Leah Williams, and I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever read any of her stuff. I really only know her as, there's really no way I can say this gently, but all I really know about her are the things I've seen posted that she's the big today writer. I mean, I'll be honest, that's all I know about her. And does that reflect poorly on me? Maybe, but there's nothing wrong with that. I like big titties, so good on her. Good on her for that. But anyway, I don't know much about her. I don't know much about her writing, so I don't have anything to compare it to. So I'm going into this fresh eyes. So let's start with this cover. This is a Terry Dodson cover. I like this cover. I like Terry Dodson. And you know what? You see this, you're like, oh, ha, ha. Oh, except for being tied up, this actually kind of happens in the book. So you may think it's like, a bait cover. Yeah, it's not. It kind of happens, but we'll get to that. So the story opens with Gwen peeking in, and as you know, she was on the West Coast Avengers. Her own solo series was canceled. These 3 pages serve pretty much as a reintroduction to her character. She realizes she's back in control. I have kind of trouble turning. There we go. So she turns the page to see. She wants to look at the title page to see if it's a one-shot or what's going on. And then she sees this. She's like, wait, where's my title page? I wasn't talking to you. And so she says, okay, I can actually explain most of what's happening here, and I should, because it's not what it looks like. Unless it looks like I'm robbing a bank in my PJs and currently getting distracted from said robbery, since I can't stop staring at this pregnant lady and having intrusive thoughts. That true. Okay. So we get kind of the reintroduction, why I'm robbing a bank, haha, the YouTube videos, and it's kind of important to note what we have here. How to make real gazpacho soup. Stylistic choices for tutorials. Your average necktie, everything's wrong. Yeah. Domino and friends take on a floating casino. Yeah. Okay. It serves as a reintroduction to her character. It talks about what's going on. How she left the real world to end up in the 616 universe. And then you see this page where she is Fortnite dancing and she is dabbing. And this, I mean, they even point out here, hey, the writer really wants you guys to know how cool and with it she is. I don't know if you can tell. It's very hard to slap a label on this to be like, oh my God, really? Because it's that whole thing, yeah, I'm not stupid. I'm just acting stupid. See, I'm telling you I'm acting stupid. So it's really cringy, which is what I thought when I saw this. I was like, oh God, this is going to be so cringy and bad. But that gets addressed. I will say one thing. I did like this part. I'm telling the truth, right? I mean, could a comics character do this? I'd let Dinah Lance kick me in the face and then thank her for it. Obviously, Dinah Lance, Black Canary, referring to the competition. And I actually thought that was kind of funny. One other thing is you notice that they've changed her costume just a wee bit. She now has those weird shorts things, like bicycle shorts. Like on the cover, she has the leotard thing. And here, she still has the big boots and the straps. At this point, just give her full leggings. It's a really dumb look. You're probably thinking, oh, it's just a couple inches of material. Yeah, but it really kind of throws off the design. Maybe it's a little pet peeve. That's a far better look. And if you're not going to do that, if you're going to do these short things, give her full pants. I mean, either or. Don't go in this middle bit. So she's robbing a bank. And she's got a gun, and she shoots up the ceiling with the glass falling. And then she's having these LOL random thoughts. And here's me now. Male sharks have 2 penises with all the clap emojis. And then she gets that. And of course she's thinking, okay, just a heads up, it seems like there's some new development where any intrusive thought I'm having gets automatically translated into a thought bubble. All I want to do is squeeze this lady. She keeps talking about wanting to squeeze the pregnant woman like a pimple. It's really weird. She says, if you pop, I'm calling the cops. You heard me. Keep that nugget tucked up in there. Okay? I kind of giggled at that line. That one was funny. I will give it that. So apparently the bank manager is a real bitch, and the people don't like her there, so they're okay with her robbing the place, because they'll make the things bad for the bank manager. So, what's going on with all this? Well, Spider-Man shows up, and, of course, Spider-Man, finally, I need a favor. And, firm no, cops are coming. Just tell him it's false alarm, it's just me, Gwen Poole. So you weren't robbing this bank just now? If you want to get technical, I guess, yeah. I was robbing the bank of all the dangerous radioactive materials currently in here. So, basically, the long story short is that she's trying to get superpowers to continue staying in a book. Because she's equated about how, in West Coast Avengers, she didn't really have her powers because it was, her being on a team, she couldn't really do it. She realized then how her powers worked. She needs to be in a solo book. She needs to have powers to keep things interesting to sustain a book. Okay, that's kind of the way Gwen Poole thinks. And she makes a bunch of references to other storylines about it. So, where's it at here? It may be coming up here. But anyway, she talks about the favor, and she starts unmasking him. About that favor, Peter. What? Stop. Are you insane? And of course, Spider-Man says to the people back there, you didn't see anything. Of course, it's a typical, like how in the Spider-Man movies, he gets unmasked every single time. And so she tells Spider-Man, I just need you to bite me and give me some spider powers so I can stay in this universe. By revealing my secret identity? No, I just want access to your mouth? Which sounds even worse. And, okay, come on, everyone's read Civil War. Unmasking Spider-Man is basically a rite of passage at this point. I unmasked Miles in a different AU, and that turned out fine. Like they said, no it didn't. Stupid yearbook photo picture, which we wasted a splash page to make a bad yearbook photo joke. So, yeah, so he asks her, why are you the way you are? And, of course, she's carrying the yearbook photo with her. Which, how does she get it from the other universe? From the real universe? Oh, well. I'm like the S rank of cringe culture. It's just a gift, honestly. That's kind of a problem there. I see what she's going for. She's trying to make... What Williams is going for is to make Gwen Poole overly cringy. And it's not it's not cute. That's why we saw her acting the way she was. Um, it's no, you just feel bad. I mean, if you take a cringe character like once in a while, yeah, they could be okay. I mentioned many times how much I love the Justice League International days, the JLI, and people tend to think of like Blue Beetle and Booster Gold as just being the two, you know, goofy heroes that can't do anything. When in actuality, yeah, they may not be as good as the other people, but they actually were still heroes on their own. But other writers get a hold of them, and all they remember is the goofy stuff, and they write them as ineffectual. So when they actually do something that goes out well, that works well, it's almost like amazing. Yeah, no, no, no. It's just you didn't read the source material, and you kind of just jacked everything to extremes. So Spider-Man webs her up because the cops are coming, and he's going to help basically everyone get out of the bank, and the police show up. And that's when we have, "Hi, Gross Gwen. Are you okay? Are we okay?" Fun science fact. Bananas are low-key radioactive. But you'd have to eat 10 million bananas in one sitting to give yourself radiation poisoning. So you know what that means. Consume bananas with impunity. So yeah, you're like, wait, what's this gross Gwen? Who is this? And even I was like going, wait, who is this? Well, it will be answered at the end of the book. I can't really show too much more. I can probably go on this far. So the other Gwen, helps her get free, takes her clothes so that this Gwen could get away, and tells her, she knows where she needs to go. So she runs as the police are coming in, and she realizes that the only place she knows how to get away to that is basically outside the panel, into the gutters, basically. And she's back into it's not really white space. I don't want to give away the ending, but this is a limited series. It's not just a one-shot, which I was kind of thinking it might be. So, but it is not. It is continuing. So I'm going to stop there. What did I think about this book? I've read this a couple times this evening, and it's bad. What Williams said she would do was to keep Gwen true to her character. And in the original Gwenpool series, she says she doesn't like Deadpool because Deadpool is LOL too random. I think her actual words were LOL so random. And that's exactly what this Gwenpool is. Now, Gwenpool is not the smartest character. That's the whole thing. She is basically a NEET, in the real universe. No hopes, no jobs. But in the 616, she could be more given what she knows. But that's hard to translate into something useful when you have no real powers. But yeah, what she did with Spider-Man here, after what happened with the Jane Foster Thor, screw that up. Jane Foster Thor in her series, she would know not to do that kind of thing with here. And she went through an awful lot. People could have gotten her to stage a bank robbery in order to get Spider-Man there. That is something Gwenpool would have done at the beginning of her Unbelievable Gwenpool series. But she should have matured beyond that. And yeah, this whole thing about focusing on squeezing the pregnant woman until she pops out the baby, and yeah, all this stupid stuff here. There's thought balloons, how easily distracted she is, and shark dicks. I see what Williams is going for, and I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. This actually is, I don't want to say it's not too bad, but it's really not that great either. It's almost as bad as she was in West Coast Avengers. Almost. I'm going to go 3:30 on this. I'm going 4 o'clock. I'm going 4 o'clock on this. Because the more I think about it, because Williams says she was going to, kind of keep true to what Gwenpool was like in her original series. And it's almost like Hastings is the only one that does not write her as LOL so random. And it's really annoying. She's a great character. She's actually a complex character. If you read her original series, she had a serious existential crisis. Literally, when her book ended, she knew she could be gone. She could be dead. So here we are with this, and it's... Oh, I was hoping for more. But these first couple pages are really, really, really bad. And I hope that's not the whole tone for the rest of the book. So, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. I'm going to pick up the next issue. I'm going to see where it goes because I do like this character. But for God's sakes, if you're not going to keep this outfit, give her pants. I mean, these boy shorts, jorts, whatever they're called, that look just looks stupid. It really does. It almost looks like she's wearing just a really, really short mini skirt when drawn like that. So, anyway, as always, thanks for watching. I need to get back to work, and I will catch you later.